You don't have a time problem. You have a priority problem. Most people wake up already behind. Notifications, messages, urgent requests. By the time the day even begins, their attention has already been hijacked. And then they say, "I didn't have time." The truth is this: time doesn't control you, your choices do. Every day, you are given the same 24 hours as everyone else. Yet some people build businesses, grow relationships, and transform their lives, while others stay stuck, busy but unproductive. Why? Because they confuse activity with progress. Being busy feels productive. It gives you the illusion that you're moving forward. But in reality, you're just reacting, responding to whatever feels urgent instead of focusing on what actually matters. And that's where most people lose control of their lives. They prioritize what screams the loudest, not what matters the most. This is the trap. The urgent steals your life from the important. And if you don't take control of your priorities, your life will always be dictated by distractions, deadlines, and other people's demands. This episode is about breaking that cycle. It's about learning how to take control of your time, not by doing more, but by doing what matters most. Because the truth is simple. You don't need more time. You need better focus. Not all tasks are equal. But your brain treats them like they are. That email feels urgent. That phone call feels urgent. That last-minute request feels urgent. And because it feels urgent, you respond immediately. But here's the problem. Urgent doesn't mean important. This is one of the most dangerous psychological traps you can fall into. Urgent tasks demand attention. Important tasks build your future. Urgent tasks are reactive. Important tasks are intentional. And most people spend their entire lives stuck in urgent mode, constantly reacting, constantly busy, but never truly progressing. Think about it. Working on your long-term goals? That's important. Building your skills? Important. Taking care of your health? Important. But none of these things feel urgent. So they get postponed. Again and again. Until one day, you realize you've spent years being busy, but not moving forward. This is how people stay stuck without realizing it. They're not lazy. They're just misdirected. Highly effective people understand something most people don't. They spend most of their time on things that are important but not urgent. That's where real growth happens. That's where transformation begins. And if you can learn to shift your focus from urgent to important, you don't just manage your time. You change your life. If important things matter so much, why do you keep avoiding them? The answer is psychological. Important tasks are often uncomfortable. They require effort, focus, discipline, and sometimes, facing your fears. Working on your goals means risking failure. Improving yourself means confronting your weaknesses. Building something meaningful takes time and uncertainty. Your brain doesn't like that. So it pushes you toward easier, more comfortable tasks. Quick replies. Small errands. Endless scrolling. These tasks feel good because they give you instant satisfaction. You feel productive without actually doing anything meaningful. And your brain rewards that behavior. This is how procrastination disguises itself as productivity. You're busy, but you're avoiding what actually matters. And the more you repeat this pattern, the stronger it becomes. Until avoiding important work becomes your default behavior. Breaking this cycle requires awareness. You have to recognize that discomfort is not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're working on something that matters. Because the truth is, the life you want is hidden inside the work you keep avoiding. Your life is shaped by what you focus on. Not what you intend to do. Not what you plan to do. But what you actually give your attention to. every single day. Focus is your most valuable resource. And yet, most people give it away freely. Social media, notifications, random tasks, constant interruptions. Your attention gets pulled in every direction. And when your focus is scattered, your results are scattered too. You start many things, but finish nothing. This is why focus is power. When you focus on one important task at a time, something powerful happens. You make progress. Real progress. Not surface-level activity, but meaningful movement toward your goals. And progress creates momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence fuels consistency. This is how success is built. Not through intensity, but through focused, consistent effort over time. The problem is, focus requires discipline. It requires saying no. No to distractions. No to low-value tasks. No to things that don't align with your priorities. And that's not easy. But it's necessary. Because every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that could change your life. One of the most powerful skills you can develop is the ability to say no. Most people struggle with this. They say yes to everything. Yes to requests. Yes to distractions. Yes to things they don't even want to do. Why? Because they don't want to disappoint others. But in trying to please everyone else, they end up neglecting themselves. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are sacrificing time you could spend on something meaningful. Your goals. Your growth. Your future. Saying no is not selfish. It's strategic. It's how you protect your time and your energy. Highly effective people understand this. They don't try to do everything. They focus on what truly matters, and they eliminate the rest. Because success is not about doing more. It's about doing less, but better. And sometimes, the most productive thing you can do is say no. Most people wait to feel motivated before they act. And that's exactly why they stay stuck. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. One day you feel inspired, the next day you don't. If your progress depends on how you feel, your results will always be inconsistent. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is not about feeling ready. It's about acting even when you don't feel like it. Highly effective people don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They decide in advance what matters, and they commit to it, regardless of their mood. Because they understand something powerful. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to show up, again and again, for what matters most. Even when it's boring. Even when it's hard. Even when you don't feel like it. That's what separates those who grow from those who stay stuck. Discipline turns intentions into results. And once you build discipline, you stop negotiating with yourself. You stop asking, do I feel like it? And you start saying, this is what I do. If you want to take control of your life, take control of your daily routine. Your routine is not just a schedule. It's a system that either moves you forward or keeps you stuck. Most people live reactively. They wake up and respond to whatever comes their way. There's no structure. No clear direction. Just constant reaction. But high performers are different. They design their days intentionally. They decide in advance what their priorities are. They block time for deep work. They create space for what truly matters. Why? Because they know that willpower is limited. If you rely on willpower alone, you'll fail when you're tired, stressed, or distracted. But a strong routine removes the need to decide. It turns important actions into habits. And habits don't require motivation. They just happen. This is how consistency is built. Not through effort alone, but through structure. When your day is structured around your priorities, progress becomes automatic. And over time, small daily actions compound into massive results. Your future is not built in one big moment. It's built in your daily routine. Not all effort creates results. Some actions move you forward. Others just keep you busy. The key is knowing the difference. Highly effective people focus on what actually moves the needle. They don't waste time on low-impact tasks. They identify the few actions that create the biggest results, and they prioritize those above everything else. This requires clarity. You have to ask yourself, what are the most important actions I can take today? Not the easiest. Not the fastest. But the most impactful. Because doing more doesn't guarantee progress. Doing the right things does. Many people spend hours working, but on the wrong things. They feel productive, but nothing changes. That's because they're focused on quantity instead of impact. When you shift your focus to high-impact actions, everything changes. You get better results in less time. You stop wasting energy. And you start making real progress. This is how you take control of your life. Not by doing everything, but by doing what matters most. Distraction is the silent killer of progress. It doesn't look dangerous. It doesn't feel harmful. But over time, it destroys your ability to focus, to think deeply, and to make meaningful progress. Every notification, every scroll, every interruption, it pulls your attention away from what matters. And once your focus is broken, it takes time to rebuild it. This is the hidden cost of distraction. It's not just the time you lose. It's the quality of your thinking, the depth of your work, the momentum you break. Most people underestimate this. They think they can multitask. But the truth is, multitasking is just switching between tasks, and every switch comes with a cost. Highly effective people protect their focus. They create environments that reduce distractions. They set boundaries. They eliminate unnecessary noise. Because they understand something most people ignore. What you pay attention to determines the direction of your life. If your attention is constantly scattered, your life will be too. But if your attention is focused, your results will reflect it. At the end of the day, this is not just about time. It's about control. Control over your attention. Control over your choices. Control over your life. Most people drift through life, reacting to whatever comes their way. But you don't have to live like that. You can choose differently. You can decide what matters most. You can focus your time and energy on things that actually move your life forward. And when you do that consistently, everything changes. You stop feeling overwhelmed. You stop feeling stuck. And you start making real, meaningful progress. Because the truth is simple. Your life is the result of what you prioritize every day. If you change your priorities, you change your life. If you want to master your time and your life, start with this. Identify your top 3 priorities. What truly matters in your life right now? Not everything, just the most important things. Schedule what matters. Don't leave it to chance. Block time for your most important tasks every day. Eliminate one major distraction. Find what steals most of your time, and reduce it immediately. Practice saying no. Protect your time. Not everything deserves your attention. Focus on progress, not perfection. You don't need to do everything perfectly. Just move forward consistently. Start small. But start today. Because the life you want is built by what you choose to prioritize, every single day. And don't forget to subscribe to Growth Mindset Lab for more great content.